Yo, guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended. Now, Ark just released a massive update, and obviously, for those of you that haven't played it yet or haven't gotten a chance, or for whatever reason, there's a ton of stuff that got released, including this new map part that I'm sitting on over Astraeos, and a bunch of other stuff. The map itself is beautiful. They added a bunch of things, mini bosses. I'm not going to ruin a lot of it for you, but they added a ton of content. Now, I'm not going to go too far into the content on this guy because I'm going to show you the actual community crunch that was just released, and this is why it's important. Now, if you haven't seen it, obviously you can go to survivetheark.com and you'll be able to see this right here. Now, you can see the Lemnocus content update available now. This thing is super cool. Now, the big thing that I care about and the thing that I think is going to be saving Ark isn't the Lemnocus update, but it is the Engine 5.5 upgrade. The smoothness that I have had since I've been in and the lack of crashes that I've had has been wild. Now, I'm on PC. There will be some small growing pains that you will have on console and things like that. So I'm sorry about that. But I can tell you right now, it seems like it's worth it. Now, let's go ahead and go further into the actual event. Obviously, there's the video if you haven't seen it yet. Super cool. Not going to go super far into it just because I want you to realize that there's a lot of stuff in the Lemnocus, and I'm going to go around that towards the end of the video. But anyways, you can see the upgraded release of Unreal Engine 5.5. Yeah, it got delayed by a few days. No one is shocked. It's been delayed for like months anyway, so don't, it is what it is. Massive improvement. I can tell you this after going inside of it. Huge. They fixed a ton of mesh holes that, I mean, I've exploited. I know for sure other people have. To like live in bases and stuff like that, and rat holes have been filled. I don't like that, but that's personal opinion. You can see the Lemnocus Island, which is huge. It's got new biomes. It's got an aberration zone, temples, double boss encounter, and a whole bunch of other tames. There's extinction tames that got added, so there's gotchas. There are manic armor, snow owls. Pretty cool overall map. Now, means all extinction dinos are in there. All aberration, almost all aberration. Let me rephrase it. Almost all aberration is in there. So that's kind of cool. Then obviously you can see the egg incubator, which is a huge thing for people on official, because it helps a lot overall. So definitely get a bunch of those egg incubators. They save you a ton of time, and they give you information about the eggs. So that's a huge thing. This is super cool too. They have a whole bunch of new building pieces, totally changing the meta. So I'll show you those in just a second here, but you can see there's a Club Ark makeover if you're someone that enjoys Club Ark. I do use it when I play on official. I just don't play on official anymore. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. There's a ton of the upgrades, which, I mean, just in general, I'll go into all of this. I'm kind of going to describe it to you from someone that might not understand the whole reason why it was changed, and hopefully I can do a good job of explaining it at a low level. Now, obviously, the Ark anniversary is happening again. This is the 10-year, which is pretty cool. You can activate the event just like you can just anywhere else. It adds some neat features. There's birthday cake and some other generic things. Not super late good, like after like 2 days in the game. But if you're just starting up again and want to add some neat little things like taming, breeding, those kinds of things, there's cake for that. So that's kind of cool. But, it's up to you. The makeover was pretty cool. This is the huge one. So Engine 5.2, because the reason they made ASA was to move to Unreal Engine 5. Now, the update between 2 and 5 is insane. 0.2 and 0.5, just going into the game, it is so much smoother. I haven't done anything, and the map looks incredible. Like, render distance is great. There's no problems overall. You can add in some of your INIs, and it's going to make it even easier to see inside of this map. So I would highly encourage you to at least download the update and see what's going on. And obviously you see they added, so it's better performance, stability, and visual quality. So that is huge. You can also, this is another massive quality of life thing that people don't realize. You no longer need to download all the maps to play. Every single map can be downloaded separately, so you have more space on your drive. Pretty cool. This is a huge one. They added in the single player backup saves. Not 100%, but it at least provides console players with a good backup save location, so you don't just lose all your progress every time you log in. Now you can see performance-only graphics preset on PC, which disables certain things. I'll show you that in a little bit, but that's not a huge one. Maybe in another video, so I don't have to go through all of that. Quality of life, you can see this is interesting. I don't know how this one works quite yet, but you can see wild and tame creatures look around curiously, and then wild creatures are sometimes going to play animations, which is kind of interesting. So Well, hopefully that goes through. Egg incubator, I think that caused some problems, but I'm not going to get into it. So the new structures, this is huge: barn door, cellar door, double doorway, fence foundation, fence support, half beam. The half structures is going to be super cool. Now they added all of those things. You can see the Adobe and Tech have the half thin pillars, quarter ramps, quarter roofs. There's a whole bunch of individual building pieces, making building a lot more convenient. So definitely check those out, because there's going to be some really shallow sloped wall. So there's a lot of really neat things, I'm hoping, that add some neat structure, and especially like game changing things. So we'll see how well that actually works, but we'll see. Now, next up, bug fixes. I'm not going to read through all of these lists, but for those of you that are like, oh, Ark is still so bad, I love this game. Yes, it's broken on many levels, but they are actively pushing fixes through all the time. Lots of exploit fixes for official servers, lots of client crashing, lots of server crashing fixes. Pretty freaking cool overall. Some of the things I was like, oh, cool, that's kind of cool. Like, I always found this frustrating. The Reaper and Basilisk berries not actually matching the terrain. I like that they fixed that. Now, there's some other neat things they did in there, but the other big one that's going to help change Ark a little bit is Astraeos new build 0.006, and that is the new landmass. It's pretty freaking cool. Beaches, redwoods, mountain ridges, temples, new caves, and a bunch of other stuff. There's a maelstrom, which is, I haven't found anything super cool about it yet. Maybe there's something that you have to trigger. I don't know, but it is pretty neat. It's just a giant like zone and out in the ocean, which is kind of cool. But bigger and smaller caves exist. An aberration fertile cave, you can see gas veins, green gems, and aberration fertile creatures like Karkanos and Cosmo can be found over there, which is super cool. The double mini boss is pretty neat. It's a new one. It's a terminal that can be found. I'll show you the cores at some point in time in another video, but these two are pretty cool. One is a poison and the other one is a fire, so it's kind of neat. Clay pits for harvesting clay. Not sure why you need a bunch of clay. Maybe they're adding something in a future update with clay, but I don't know. Maybe they will, but oh well. This is super cool. The Astral Direwolf and Mammoth. You can see that it drops the same loot as Red Ice Cave drops. Now that's pretty freaking cool. That's really good stuff. And added gas veins all over Thorocus. Now those are really neat. Now Grass Clutter, this one's huge. Love it. And the density and colors and all of that stuff is amazing. Definitely got to utilize this, because playing on this map, like, it used to be very difficult. And now with all the changes, it's very optimized, very good to go. Love it. Just love it. Some colors got changes. You can see that the lighting in every cave, because of the engine upgrade, remade the temperature curve on the whole map, which is kind of cool. It's interesting. And they changed it so there's Dinosuchus, Megalodons, Mosasaurs, and Tusos. So you can actually get, from killing these things, the same as a red underwater cave drop. Now, those are really good. Dinosuchus, if you get one of them, red swamp cave drops, also very good. Lightning creatures are now immune to spike walls, because people were AFK farming just by literally going with spiked walls, because they aggro to spiked walls. They would attack it, and now they just, there's no point in that. So definitely use that. Fixed a lot of mesh holes. Obviously, we know where those were. Fixed post-processing voluming issues, physics volume issues, and a ton of technical issues. Now, those are really cool updates, right? I'm not going to go super far into it, because I'm going to show you instead. Now, the reason I want to say I'm going to show you instead is I am on the map. I haven't changed a single thing. There's no fog changes. There's no any changes. Look how pretty it looks. Normally on this map, I had to do volumetric fog, volumetric cloud, and a bunch of other I changes to actually render things in. It flows so smoothly. Everything renders in very nice. There's no major problems. I'm not having weird glitchy issues. It looks pretty. It runs pretty. And there's a lot of generic changes. You can pretty much go anywhere and just find yourself a new cave. For example, this one right here. Pretty neat, right? Now, they are all over the place, so I'm not going to pretend like they're not. This one, not the greatest overall, because you can still fit a stego into it, but there are some really funky caves that might be buildable for PvP. Maybe not so much for PvE, but it's certainly doable. It wouldn't necessarily be something that I would avoid, but you can definitely build in them. The map also by itself is beautiful. The water, there's a lot of changes to that. It's obviously got an aberrant zone. I'm not going to show you that, because I want you to find it on your own. I'll have a separate video for that, so I don't spoil it for you. But the map is beautiful. The changes are incredible. 5.5 is working really well, and I genuinely have no complaints. I know it was a little rough for the first few hours because there was lots of crashes and stuff like that, but they figured a lot of them out, and it's running incredibly smoothly. Astral creatures are added back, and they give you lots of loot, and a lot of really cool things and changes have been made. So anyways, hopefully this is something that you look forward to, because I think it's really neat. I want to have a little bit more hope for the future. And I think this is kind of a move where Ark is moving in the right direction, because ASA has been struggling recently, because why would you pay for it and do all this stuff when they're still releasing things on ASE? Updates like this are what make the game more playable and more fun for everybody. So hopefully it kind of starts moving in the right direction. So anyways, hopefully this video helps you out. And if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, Teach out.